So today I'm shooting with what might be the perfect camera and lens combination for vlogging. Stick around. So I wanted to test the video autofocus of the Canon R coupled with the new Canon RF 15 to 35 millimeter f2.8 lens. Now this lens combined with this camera really is, actually I'm finding out, is pretty amazing for doing just this, for talking into a camera. I'm hand holding right now, and the combination of image stabilization in the lens and the video image stabilization in the camera, it's not perfectly smooth, but it's a lot smoother than it would be if I didn't have those features. And I'm hand holding right now, walking along the sidewalk, not really paying attention to where I'm going, but it's pretty smooth. And it should be maintaining focus on my face the whole time. So as I move around to different parts of the frame, we'll see what that looks like, but it should be maintaining focus on me. It should be adjusting autofocus, auto exposure as we go along, as I move into a shadow like this, and out of it again. If I get closer to the camera, it should focus on me. If I get further away, it should maintain focus on me also. And at 15 millimeters, which is ultra wide, I don't have to hold my arm all the way out to keep myself in the shot. I'm holding this relatively comfortably with my arm bent. Let me take a picture, show you what my setup is here. Hold on just a sec. Let me show you what my setup is. So that's what basically I'm holding. Just the camera. I'm holding onto a GorillaPod with a little microphone on top. It's actually relatively light to walk around like this. And like I said, at 15 millimeters, at ultra wide, I'm able to get fairly close. I'm able to get closer to the microphone without having to hold the camera all the way out like this. And this is in full HD 1080p. At 4K, it's going to crop a little bit closer. So let me change it to 4K now, and we'll see what the cropping looks like if I can hold it as close as I can, what the framing is like. So let's switch to 4K now. All right, so this is in 4K. I'm still at 15 millimeters, and you can see the cropping is a lot tighter, but not as tight as it would be on the 24 millimeter lens. That's what I was using before. The 24 to 70 zoom, I was using at 24 millimeters for shots like this, and on 4K it was really too tight. And even at 1080p, it was still a little bit tight. You can check out that video. I'm going to put a link to it in the end, testing the autofocus of that. But even at 4K, on other cameras like the M50, it would hunt around in 4K for autofocus. I found on the R, using 24 to 70, it was really good at maintaining autofocus. So we'll see how this is. This should look pretty good also, keeping me in focus. If I move around the frame, I'm looking at it over there on the screen there now. It looks like it's tracking me. It's using facial autofocus tracking. It's doing a good job as I move around through the screen and closer and further away of maintaining the autofocus, which is really great, a really great thing to be able to shoot in 4K at 15 millimeters and be able to keep a framing like this is actually really great. So let me switch back to 1080p, and now back at 1080p you can see the framing is a lot wider. Even if I zoom in a little bit, I'm going to go from 15 to 24 to 35, stretching my arm all the way out. I can keep myself in too tight, but snap back to 15, and I'm in the frame. You have the whole environment behind me. You're able to get in. Perfect, perfect. This lens, this focal length for shots like this. At 2.8 right now, it's open, wide open at 2.8.
Hey, I love you.
And I'm getting the autofocus on me. I'm getting the background a little bit blurred, out of focus there. Even at 15 millimeters, the shallow depth of field is pretty good. So really, I mean, this is really fantastic. It's great. It's a little bit heavy. It's great that I don't have to keep my arm held straight all the way out like this. It's a little bit heavy, but you know, hand holding it like this is really no problem. You're getting super high quality. The autofocus is, like I said, dead on, spot on. And you know, I'm not really paying attention to trying to keep it smooth, trying to keep it steady. But I think it's been pretty stable as far as not being too jerky and jarry and clunking around. It's been pretty steady. So that was a test. I was hoping it would work. I think it did. I really love this lens for this kind of stuff. Headed into Penn Station now. Thanks for watching. I'm going to put links to the other videos I did, like I said before, using this exact same setup with a 24 to 70 2.8 lens, and the same test that I did using the M50, and you'll see the difference in autofocus and how it tracks me or doesn't track me using those cameras and lens setups. So check it out. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.